Yeah, very, very, very important. Nick, you've been with us a while. I'll go to you in a second, David. What did you make of your team tonight, mate?
I think the main thing was getting the 3 points. As I said, over the last 5 games, we've dropped silly points from leading positions, especially with Man City coming up. I mean, we haven't actually beaten them since the Champions League final, so we do need to start getting results again. I just said about Sanchez. The thing is with Jorgensen, we've seen in a small sample size he is a good goalkeeper. He can make the saves. But the thing is with Sanchez, whenever the ball goes back to him, you can feel the tension in the stadium. It's just nervous all the time. I can imagine he's an absolute nightmare to play with. So I don't think he'll change it. Maresca, he seems like he's liking Sanchez. I don't know why, but as I said, I think I speak for everyone here, Chelsea fans, non-Chelsea fans. I think everyone would want to see a change, but yeah, as I said, I think the main thing was the 3 points. And then going on about the Garnacho thing, I don't really get that signing at all. I mean, when you look at, as I said, the goalkeeper situation and our defence, even on midfield depth with Lavia being injury prone, Enzo, I mean, he's had a better season this season for sure, but we just don't need another attacker. We don't really need another attacker, so I don't really get that signing at all. But yeah, as I said, I think some players had quieter games, but the main thing today was just the 3 points, 100% 3 points, so you can't really complain.
Yeah, I agree so much on the 3 points because it is a young squad, and I know that there are certain Chelsea fans and certain football fans that don't care, but it was imperative that you get back to winning ways, especially after taking the lead. Had you drawn the game or lost it, the damage of confidence that would have done it. And each week probably gets harder and harder to get out of that. And you could see sort of the relief and the celebrations when Cucurella and Noni put the ball in the back of the net. Almost that, oh, thank God, this week looks like it's going to be okay. David, from your perspective,
I'm just going to come out and say it. Cucurella is the best left back in the league.
Oh, just random.
Don't tell Judge Mo that he doesn't like
He's very. Do you know what? He's an interesting one, isn't he? Because he was brilliant at Brighton. Chelsea, you beat City to him, right? By outbidding City, and then
yeah.
His first year or so he was horrible. Man, that's the one thing you probably got to thank Poch for, because I remember reading that United were about to get him on loan, and then Poch played him in the Carabao Cup on purpose to try and stop that from happening, and it did. I'd love him as my kind of left. Although we are linked to this young man Patrick, so we'll see how good he is. I don't know, but yeah, David, what did you make of your boys tonight?
The performance was the same as the past 6 games. It's just the results different. So from that point, I'm pretty happy. As I've been saying the past couple of weeks, Chelsea aren't playing badly. It's just because we are missing some key players in some key positions. Those games where it's a 50-50 that were going in our favour when everyone thought we were in a title race just weren't going in our favour. That was the only difference. However, the performances have remained consistent throughout. Check the numbers, check the underlying numbers. They're pretty much the same. So, yeah, from my point of view, it's good to get the 3 points just to go with the performance, because the performance is still there. So, for me, I'm not worried about top 4 for now. Providing we just maintain this level, we'll get there. We just need to either bring in another midfielder who's defensive and can do that role, or hope that Lavia finds his fitness from somewhere. And I just want to say, when it comes to Robert Sanchez, it was 7:15 in the TFT content creators chat. And I said to Ram, we were having a discussion about this game, and I said, nothing can stop my team when Sanchez can just punt it in his own net. I said that at 7 before the game. I said Sanchez can just kick it in his own net and no one would be shocked. And lo and behold, another bozo moment happened. So, like, I know my team. I know what can happen with this team. But yeah, overall, it's just good to get the 3 points. But that man needs to get out of goal. He's just not good enough. Same thing with Onana. Their floor of performance is just too low. It's not, the ceiling isn't the issue. When Sanchez or Onana's on it, they're absolutely fine. It's not an issue. But as a goalkeeper, the main thing is you have to have a really good floor.
Yes.
If you make a mistake,
it's a goal. You can be, again, I quite liked his perseverance today, but you can have a game like most Chelsea fans think Noni had, where he was really poor, but he crosses the ball in. I don't know if he actually gets the assist because it might have come off Dewsbury
No,
Hall's head.
KDH headed it on. KDH headed it on.
But yeah, I mean, that's where the assist thing becomes a bit strange. But he basically sets up a goal with a good cross, then he scores a goal. But goalies have to be the opposite way round. You cannot have a bad game and then make one good save at the end when you're 3-0 down. You have to stop those things from happening. So, yeah, there's a super chat here. I don't know if I should read this or not, but it's from Ola, who says, I'm black. Okay, we're going to preface that from the beginning. I'm black. So I'm not trying to be racist before anyone acts weird. But it's known black keepers don't work. England is good, but Onana and Sanchez have brought out the truth. I mean, look, I am not advocating this message in any capacity.
Hashtag, Terry.
No, I am not.
Don't read the hashtag, please, Terry. Terry, you'll get clipped.
I know for a fact, I know for an absolute fact without checking that I have trolls and people that hate me watching every show I do, every video I upload. In fairness, they're either live recording me or they're streaming me or they're ready now. I know they are because they're obsessed with me. So yeah, but
there are some great goalkeepers as well, though, like Dida and others. You know, Champions League winners, like unbelievable players as well for their clubs, historic. So that theory is a weak one. That theory is a weak one. It has nothing to do with it. Just don't spill the ball, mate. You get me?
Look, I'm not gonna, each to their own. I've got no problem with any player from where they're from. I just want a goalie that can hold on to the ball. Thank you. I don't care where he's from, where his mother's from, where his father's from. Palmer likes to play, but injured, ankle targeted. Do you think he was targeted tonight?
I think everyone
not unnecessarily. No.
I think every team just tries to keep him out of the game as much as they can. So yeah,
but don't do this bullshit. Don't do this bullshit. You're so much better than this. You are actually, like David. You genuinely are better than this. The pass for Jackson, when Jackson was offside, they released the ball quicker, and that's 4-1, and that's Gabe's at the match, and he gets an assist. So you can acknowledge when your best players have bad games. You can ask Terry. I came here after Forest. I said Salah was our worst forward.
No. Again, unfortunately, Palmer can't be our worst forward today because Madueke exists. But like Palmer again. Palmer most of the time with Salah, their poor performances are most average. Well, good players' performances 7 out of 10s. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like for me to go at Palmer today, Palmer was still instrumental in bringing the ball from deep and passing and playing the ball.
Goal. Yeah.
It's not an assist or a goal. So for me, it's like I'm not going to talk about Cole Palmer because even though it wasn't an amazing 2 GA,
but isn't that good though? We won 3-1. We won 3-1, and he doesn't have to do here.
100%, it's good.
I agree. I agree. I don't think he was bad today.
It's not aimed at you, Sam. Just in general.
Jay, what did you make of it? Did you think Palmer was poor today, or do you think that he actually had a good overall performance for Chelsea?
No, I agree with David. Like it's he'll look poor because he's normally a guard on the pitch. Like normally he's wicked. So like if he drops below that, it looks poor. But today he was more than fine. Like you say, like he got the ball from deep, he dragged it forward every now and then. Like had a few passes that maybe could have been a goal, but didn't result in that. Nah, he wasn't poor today. I don't think he did get a bit targeted, but that happens every game. He's used to that now. Like
he's got to take that.
Like last season. Everyone was like, we've got to target this guy because we have to stop him. And in the past couple of games, when that's happened, no one else has stepped up. We're just fortunate today. Other players did step up. But no, he wasn't bad today. I think he had a really decent game. I can't complain.
Thing is, when you're Cole Palmer, you can't be decent. That's the reality of the situation. When you hit a certain standard, decent is not good enough anymore. Yeah. And I've seen this with my very own eyes.
Hang on a minute. Sam, let me just stop you saying that though. But are you talking about what trolls are going to say and do though?
No. I'm saying when you play at a certain standard, you have to try your best to uphold set standard. Now, of course, we're not talking about the insane stuff. No one's asking Cole Palmer to score 4 goals and a half every single game because then he'd be Lionel Messi. No one's asking for that. You get me? He'd be the greatest player of all time. But we're asking you have to uphold a certain standard. Like I gave an example, release Jackson quicker, you score the 4, you get your assist, you kind of crown your performance. So yeah, that's it. Like we can acknowledge when the best players have like bad games or average games.
No, I think he can be afforded to have a decent game when our other players step up. It's when the other players don't step up, then it's like you're starting to lean on him a little bit, and then you need a player like him who will drag you through a great game. But when the whole team's firing, I feel like you can't put that on him.
I just sort of feel a bit like, maybe it's because I'm a lot older than you guys, and people will talk about Henry, or they'll speak about Gianfranco Zola, or the players from that generation, and nostalgia takes over, and you go, they were good every week. They had, out of all the games they played for their respective clubs in England, they probably had a good 20 to 25% that were like Palmer's tonight, where they were good. They were a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10, did nothing wrong, but they weren't the linchpin of the game. I just think it's because we're in the moment and we're reviewing these players, and I just feel like that. I get where you're coming from, Hussam, but for me, I don't think a player does have to be, even Messi and Ronaldo. And I watched a lot of their games when they were in their pomp, and yeah, they scored and assisted a lot, but they had loads of games where it was a bit like, okay, what did they actually do today? Not so much, And yeah, I just think sometimes we get a bit carried away.